Adolf Benca, Dr.Hc, Columbia University, Bologna University, Fulbright Research Scholar. Adolf Benca wants to say a few things. People don't know how to talk about it because the experience of a person like myself in multilateral societies working quadrilateral, bilateral, hexagramical, octogramical, madonamical, and quadrilateralist, polyquadrilateral, quaternus, cerebellus, colossal neurology, sociology, don't have the amor and psyche division and the parthogenicism of the American Constitution of Independence between Jefferson Davis and Frederick Douglass. Adolf Benca, Fulbright Bologna University, multi-doctor, emerita Bern, Thomas Masaryk, police work, drug cartel, body cartel, arms cartel, honorary doctorate, and Kaiser Kunz Nobel Prize, modern Otto von Habsburg Prize, Budapest, Komarno Mandalas, CERN laboratories, and sociology. Praxis in neutral, good behavioral science of mankind. The logistics of modern world, quantum control, America, ad reductio concept control, and the Russian communist Mao Zedong. I worked at Columbia College of Surgeons with Dr. Ernest April, earnestness in Che Guevara, earnestness in April, earnestness in Adolf Benca, was the Fulbright Nobel Hayes Act. We do not mix politics in anything but perfect work. The essence is colleagues and transformation and colleagues is, they like to say bad things because that's how they address their envy complex, their greed, and their secular association to the competition of modern obscurity from the no man's land, bloodlands, and bloodletting of behavioral science. Jung, and the Chinese proverb Jung is amor and psyche, modern quadrilateralis, Juno, triumph, Triton, Chariot, and the history of the classical world and American pragmatic bilateral philosophical transformation of dialectics, preformed dialectics, preformed dioptria, as a relationship to actually what's really taking place. American prodigies in immigrant groups have about ranging about 200 IQ. So this, when they have evolved, the competitiveness is unparalleled. Most of the status quo formed of the conformist groups are functioning behavioralists themselves to a conformist praxis, military and economically. American UN and OPEC and treaties and presidential policies run into quadrilateral fascism and terrorism. This has to stop, and of course it's not. The artists that are at fault have been exercised on the anatomical spectrum, but by being these mediocrity sets in stupefaction of these characterizations. So let's get to the nitty-gritty is what I have to say. The 200,000 paintings painted in the communist bloc's Cold War, Iran, Iraq, and Afghanistan to Kurdistan, Kazakhstan, and to Aleppo, are classic wars perpetuating 5,000 years from Chinese, Japanese invasion of aristocracy, the Persian groups, Ilium, Rus, Pers, and Ilium America. Troy is actually the mythos between technos and theos, paradoxismus. Quadrilateralismus, as Adolf Benca says now, the 60,000 paintings painting encyclopedia go into 4 dimensions because they themselves create the ka, the Benca ka of the Kankaio, where it's organic space completely in rotundus universal. There's no interference of cold technology and bilateral non-creative credo, creatio ex nihilo. credo, like Columbia, Harvard, Yale, Oxford, my Cooper Union, all focus basically to those anachronist categories of Greenberg, Rosenberg, and quantum control faculties of fraud or make-believe of nomenclatura, the real thing, Hunt, Haka, conceptual art, Jackson Pollock, Krasner, Motherwell. Then in painting, abstract to minimal formation collages, never analyzed the American status of the historical word fascism, communism and socialism, and military transformation of Turkestan, Turkey as a militant Orthodox oligarchy in the Ottoman Empire, functioning today between terrorists and fascist wars. This is not the way America to go, so the secrecy is obviously necessary. But in terms of painters of modern time, it all becomes conscious, collective consciousness sets in. With due respect to encyclopedic transformation, Triburbinum Mazda Adolf Benca says, he paints what he does, so then the encyclopedic mythis becomes America the Troy, Rotundus Universal in the Troy, becomes modern reality, and the war becomes the analysis in speculum reflection, Hermitage, Louvre, modern Promethean, Uffizi, Smithsonian, Guggenheim, Museum of Modern Art, and the transformation of Kaiser Kunst, MacArthur, Guggenheim Awards into modern, not private patronage, not Vladivostok, corporate syndicalist obscurantismus, but truly new WPA projects, America, new WPA social projects, and the excellence of the second coming of the real Renaissance, American Enlightenment, leads to the New World and the New World Bologna Address and New World Congress, to the painter of modern time as transforming optological universum from concilium to modern English status quo, Fulbright Heiss Act.